Well, as I think about my past and I think about marriage and families, I reflect on Proverbs. You know, it says a man plans the course of his life, but the Lord determines those steps. And now being where I'm at in a place of my life and looking back, I can see those steps and how God was directing me that path, directing me down that path rather. I was raised in a very loving family, and when unfaithfulness came into that, because of my dad and my parents split, then now you're a 3 or 4 year old boy looking to see into the future of what that journey is going to be and not understanding and having a lot of questions. But again, my main understanding is that of that time for me was how much love there was for me. And even though because of unfaithfulness, there were so many differences in opinions that now, and my wife knows probably more than I do, even now looking back, of a set of parents and step-parents that were willing to invest into a child and love that child. And I'm so thankful for that now. But also with that, there comes wounds. You know, as I'm a big Wild at Heart fan, and one of the things that I have learned recently is what my wound is, or what some of my wounds are. I'm trying to get a grip on understanding what that is. And one of them is because my dad was absent, even though he was very involved in my life, very loving and picking me up for Little League this and taking me for Cokes and just really loving father. My wound, because he was absent, was I don't need anybody's help. I can do it all by myself. And if you need my help, I will help you, but I don't need your help. And so as I reflect back on that as a 5-year-old, thinking, why in the world did I ever start playing tackle football? You know, I've got, my oldest boy is 8, and I'm glad that he's still not playing tackle football yet. And I'm trying to piece all that together. And I think what I found is I didn't need anybody's help. I was bigger and I was stronger, and I could go out there and throw guys down, and I could wrestle around and tackle and hit and probably release a lot of maybe pin up anger or whatever I was dealing with out there. So football was a place, an outlet for me, I guess, that I could go to. And, you know, I was blessed to do that for 25 years. You know, I played football up until the time I was 29, and it was a huge blessing. But as I think about the divorce and as I went through my first marriage, my focus probably was on unfaithfulness, and to make sure that that wasn't going to happen, that that wasn't going to be a part of my life. And in doing that, I can probably be transparent enough to say that I made some mistakes there too with the communication. My first wife did have an affair and did go in a different direction. And at that point, I really had to do some searching, because that's when I became a father. I was willing, maybe unlike my parents, to just throw marriage aside and focus in and be a father. There was one thing that growing up that I really understood from my dad was how much love and passion that he invested into me all the time, even though he wasn't there, with phone calls, stopping by, picking me up, taking me a Coke, get a Coke. He was just always trying to invest in me. Looking back on it now, he missed out on a whole lot because he was absent. And so now having a child and having a Rickey plan, I was going to invest into Meg and be the best father that I could possibly be. And through the process of doing that and trying to be willing to stay in a marriage that was broken, and to just giving up everything that a marriage should be within that covenant, and to just say, I'm going to be a father, God made it very clear to me, for me to be the father that he has called me to be and the father that I want to be, I would have to be the husband that he's called me to be. And when I finally got that, after, you know, counseling and realizing that this marriage wasn't going to go any further, and God released me of that almost immediately, that's when I found Steph. And I had a Rickey plan for that, but God had a different plan.